If you've been training a while and your progress has stalled, then this video is for you. You're probably just not doing the right things with the right structure in the right order. Today, I'm going to give you the complete 5-day training split that I use with my clients, myself, to build muscle, drop body fat, and get in the best shape of their lives. This is going to be broken down exactly session by session, rep by rep, just showing you exactly what to do, and I'm not going to hold anything back. After this video, you're going to have the complete 5-day plan that you can start immediately and start seeing results literally tomorrow. But before we dive in, why should you listen to me? You know, I've been a personal trainer coming up to a decade now. I've achieved 1,200 body transformations so far with my clients, and I'm proud to have built one of the leading body transformation companies in the UK, Fortis Transformations. Through this period of time over the last 10 years, I've learned what works, but I've also learned what hasn't. And that's why I'm gonna build this channel, and I'm gonna try and build it and create as much impact as possible, so I can give you what actually works in real life. It's all good having a textbook and some scientist on YouTube telling what works, but I'm actually doing this day to day. Every single day I coach my clients to get results, and through my system and my process, I'm gonna teach you of exactly how you can do the same. So why 5 days? And is more actually better? In most cases, no. You know, 5 days is highly effective for the person that it can work for. If you are quite advanced, you can 100% have the time to commit to 5 sessions every single week, then 100% 5 sessions is gonna be amazing for you. If you're someone who has kids, you've got family life, you know, you're short on time as it is, this probably isn't a training split that suits you. You know, you can go and watch my other videos, which have got a 3-day training split or a 4-day training split, which will show you exactly what to do. So the only difference between like a 4-day split and a 5-day split is just gonna be the total volume of each muscle group in each session. But if your sleep, your nutrition, your stress management, and your time allows, then a 5-day training split is for you. So how I would do this is I generally do 3 sessions on, 1 session off, 2 sessions on, 1 session off. Off being obviously your rest days. These are gonna be usually after your hardest sessions, which are gonna be like the most amount to recover. So most of the time for me and my clients, it's gonna be after a leg day. So after a leg day, these are like the most energy demanding and taxing sessions on the body. So let's say you do a push-pull legs, you're gonna have a rest day on that Thursday. If you have an upper lower session, you're probably gonna have your rest day on the Sunday, as an example. So this is how I would split the session up. Now, I'm not gonna cover exact sets, reps, and rest times, but I'm just gonna give you a framework to follow that you can make sure you can get the most amount of results from. Now, the most important thing when you're training is that you're gonna be applying progressive overload and driving as much mechanical tension as possible. Now, you wanna be making sure you're progressing in the gym every single week, whether that's lifting a few more reps and then increasing the weight. You need to be doing both of these. My goal for you guys is to set yourself a rep range that you're gonna work between, not an exact rep number. I'm not a fan of doing 3 sets of 10. I would rather you set a goal of doing 3 sets of 8 to 10 so that you have progression there week to week, and you're not just gonna complete 10 every single week. So if we aim to achieve 3 sets of 10 eventually, you might do 10, 9, 8. Once we can do three sets of 10, 10, 10, then we have the ability to progressively overload from there. So that is really, really important. Now, if you wanna make maximal progress, and I mean the most progress that you can make possible, what you need to understand is that every single set needs to be taken to failure, all right, where you can't perform another rep. It might sound hard, it might sound challenging, but this is one of the biggest things that holds people back from making progress. From a sets and reps standpoint, you might be thinking, okay, what do I do? I generally recommend 2 to 3 working sets per exercise on this plan. 2 sets usually being on a compound movement, maybe 3 if you're in the beginner stages, and then I would be doing 3 sets of your accessory movements. So accessory movements being single joint movements, side delts, rear delts, smaller muscle groups usually. I like to work clients between a rep range of generally 6 as a minimum up to 15, depending on the movement and depending on the individual. Generally, if you work between a rep range of 6 to 15 reps, anywhere between this, usually 6 to 9, 6 to 10 on your big compounds, usually 10 to 15 your accessories. So when I give you the exercises, please feel free to adjust your sets and reps between this. So here is the exact full training plan on screen now. So you've got a workout plan here. We've got session 1, session 2, session 3, session 4, session 5. But remember, we are putting rest days in between session 3 and 4, and then in between sessions 5 and 1 as well. So we're doing 3 sessions on, 1 session off, 2 sessions on, 1 session off. So we're gonna structure this in a way, guys, which is session 1 is push, session 2 is pull, session 3 is legs, there is a rest day, and then you've obviously got 2 sessions to finish off the week, which is gonna be upper body and then lower body as well. So I'm gonna walk you through now the workout plan and why I've structured it the way I have. So session 1 is going to be push. So the reason I start with a pec deck, guys, is to put blood flow into the chest. What I've found anecdotally myself, but also coaching my clients, is that when you can do a priming movement before a big compound movement, generally you're going to activate the muscle better. You're going to warm up the shoulder joint, reduce the risk of injury, connect better with your chest, and then we can go into your heavier presses. So your incline dumbbell press and your machine chest press. Then we're going to go into a lateral raise next, so to hit your side delts. This is more of an accessory movement. And then we're going to finish off 2 movements for triceps. So for this session, we've got a cable rope tricep extension to hit kind of the short head of the triceps. And then we're also going to go an overhead extension, which is going to be targeting more of the long head of the triceps. Again, you can structure this how you want to. Session 2 is going to be pull. So we're then going to move into a neutral grip pull down. So this is a lat bias movement, a pull down in front of the body. When you have a neutral grip, it's going to really emphasize the lats, just because the lats line up perfectly from literally here all the way down to here. We then go for a dumbbell prone row. So this is an upper back movement. You might do like a T-bar row here instead. I like to do this chest supported from a stability standpoint. And then we're gonna go into 2 more, either a row, and then we're gonna go into a pull down as well. So the cable seated row is actually a lat focused row. So we're driving the elbow down into the hip to shorten the lat. And then what we're gonna do then is we're gonna go for a wide grip pull down to hit the upper back musculature on this session. We then finish off the session with a reverse pec deck to target the rear delts, a preacher curl machine to target the short head of the biceps, and then a dumbbell incline bicep curl to target the long head of the biceps. Moving into your leg session 1, we're going to start with a seated leg curl. Now, I always personally like to do a leg curl before I do any compound movement. It warms up the knee joint, it primes the body, it just gets your mindset in a much better position before going into your heavier presses. It doesn't really fatigue your bigger muscles, to be honest. Like, I'll be honest, if you go into a leg curl and you hack squat, it's not really going to impact performance. In my opinion, it's actually going to aid it slightly. And then you've got 3 kind of big compound movements back to back. You've got a hack squat, you've got a seated leg press, and then you've got a Bulgarian split squat. This is going to be a really, really tough session. Like, going through those 3 movements and applying yourself in terms of intensity, your legs are going to grow. Trust me. Like, you probably only want to do 2 working sets for each of these, maybe 3 on a leg press if you can get away with it. Then we're going to finish the session with a leg extension to target the quads in isolation. And then we do standing calf raise and an ab crunch machine. I have added an ab crunch machine to your leg session just because we can hit a little bit more abs as well. You'll see on here, session 5, lower body 2, also has hanging leg raises. So I'm just going to touch on abs for a second. So we're going to do an ab crunch machine just so we're crunching from this position of your abs. And then at the end of the week, we're going to do hanging leg raises just to target more of the lower body. Your abs don't work in isolation, so you can't isolate kind of either part of the abs, but I just like to do 2 to 3 ab movements per week, depending on your session availability. If you're slightly more advanced and you really want to prioritize abs, then train them 3 times a week. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Session 4, so now we have an upper body day. We have dumbbell lateral raises to warm up the shoulder joint again, Smith incline press, shoulder press machine, neutral grip lat pull down, and then we have cable seated row to hit upper back this time as well. And then we're going to finish the session with tricep dips and bicep curl. Again, the upper body session is designed so you hit all muscles in the upper body, splitting volume equally, allowing for every single muscle group to make equal progress. And then session 5 is your lower day. So we have hanging leg raises, lion leg curl, barbell RDL, which is your hip hinge motion now, seated leg press, seated leg extension, and then seated calf raise as well. So that, guys, is the full session split. Again, you can literally take this split and implement it straight away. The biggest mistake I'm going to see when guys have a split like this is that you don't track anything. Like, progressive overload and tracking your lifts is honestly one of the most pivotal parts of you making progress. If you're fairly new to a training block, you've got to track your weights and lifts. Like, if you don't see how much progress you're making every single week in the gym, it's going to hold you back so much from making progress. You're probably going to lift the same weights and reps every single week, and you're just going to hit a plateau. So if you're going to implement this training split, get yourself a logbook, get yourself a notes app on your phone, and start tracking your sessions. It's going to have a big difference on your ability to make progress. That way, every single session you've got a target to beat. And this is honestly the difference between people who get world-class results, like some of my clients, and some people that just look the same year on year, that they train for years but never really make much progress. And honestly, if you ask yourself the question is, could you be training harder? You probably can. And that's the difference between you taking your physique to the next level. So guys, that is the complete 5-day plan. Like, I cover push, pull, legs, upper, lower in this split. Every single muscle group is hit twice per week. Every session is built with true purpose. This is the plan that will get you results if you commit to it, honestly. If this video has really helped you, please do me a favor, smash the like button, please subscribe to my videos. And my goal really with this channel is to impact as many people as possible. We're gonna be bringing out more videos like this, training-based content, nutrition-based content, providing as much value as possible. And it's based on people for real life. You know, you can see all these influencers online that are gonna do textbook, give you all this scientific research, but I'm gonna give you stuff that actually works in real life when I've coached literally thousands of clients to achieve results. So if you found it helpful, thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.